Hi there. Let's discover how something called ArcGIS Online can be used to enhance a study and bring a story to life. In this particular case, let's examine the 10 most expensive streets in the USA and find out how the spatial perspective through something like a web GIS, ArcGIS Online specifically, can add value to our investigation. Let's get started.
Let's dig into this lesson, which I've entitled Big Bucks, examining the 10 most expensive streets in the USA. As I mentioned, this activity uses ArcGIS Online, a web-based Geographic Information System, or GIS, as a tool for examining these 10 most expensive streets in the USA, as measured by the price of office rental space as reported by MarketWatch in the Wall Street Journal. This activity is aimed at university level, but it could also be used at the upper secondary level. It can be used as an independent assigned activity to students or in a whole class discussion format. There are 30 questions, and I estimate that it will take about 2 to 3 hours to complete all the questions. It could also be done, of course, in an abbreviated format in one class period. No previous experience with GIS is necessary, but this activity does rely heavily on spatial thinking and the geographic perspective. Computer requirements are web browser and internet connection. That's it. It can be run in a lab setting or with one computer and a projector. The lesson is only 3 pages long, and as I mentioned, you can go through all of these questions or select just some of them to use in your class. Alright, let's get started. What factors influence how expensive it is to rent or buy a house in a community? What areas of your own community are more expensive to rent or buy a house? Why? What factors influence how expensive it is to rent an office in a community? Discuss the differences and similarities between the cost of home rental or ownership versus office rental cost. Where do you think the most expensive streets for office rentals are in the USA? How about in the world? Why? Create a list of 10 streets for the USA where you hypothesize that renting office space is the most expensive. Now let's examine the 10 most expensive streets spatially using ArcGIS Online. What we're going to do is go to arcgis.com. www.arcgis.com. That's ArcGIS Online. In the search frame, let's search for 10 most expensive streets, owner J.J. Kursky. We've got one result. Let's go ahead and open it in presentation mode. Let's go ahead and start that presentation and look at our first slide. Why do you think the 10 streets are distributed across the country as they are? It looks like they're coastal, doesn't it? There's a bunch of them out here in California, there's some in New England and the Mid-Atlantic states, and there's one down here in Florida. Interesting. Here's the first street, which is available on the next slide. Sand Hill Road in Menlo Park, California. Here's the second street, Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. Perhaps this was one that you hypothesized would be in the list of the top 10. Here's the third one, Greenwich Avenue in Greenwich, Connecticut. Why would that be?